On Facebook. How are you guys doing? How's everything going in your Wednesday, midway through the week? Just want to come out here today and talk to you guys and go over my 9 steps for building a relationship based business that will bring referrals to you. Not one based on transactionals, based on relations. So the more relationships you can get into, the more transactions you can do. That there is scalable and it is sustainable. So we know that our relationships directly tie into our transactions. And it's not just the relationships we have because of proximity, it's the strength of those relationships. How well do we know people? And what we're going to go through right today, I'm going to also put a little twist on it because it's something that I've been talking a lot about. I think we need to be out there. So we got to be givers of hope. We got to help people with their dreams. We've got to help people with hope. Right now, there's not a lot of hope. There's a lot of things that are coming out that really are fear-based, and we need to get out and get hope. We need to know what makes our people tick. What is it that they really, really want? We think we know what they need, but they don't really care about what they need. They want to go after what they want. And once they get what they want, then we can give them some of the stuff that they need. So we got to go out and actually find what it is they want. And by doing that, we got to get into relationships. So number 1, and if you guys want this copy, just comment below, put in something or send me a message and I'll send you a PDF version of this so you can go through it. But I'm just going to hit some highlights in this for you today. Number 1, building brand awareness comes down to 3 simple steps. Okay, those 3 simple steps. Number 1, we've got to be heard. We've got to be heard. People got to hear who we are. They got to hear what it is we do. They got to hear us first. Step 2 is we got to get noticed after we're being heard. First they hear us, then they kind of notice us. It's like when you get a new car and you pick out a color that you've never seen on the road, and then all of a sudden you start seeing it all the time. Because first that color was heard by you, now you're starting to notice it. Okay? So that's what happens, and it's just awareness that happens. We got to take our people through this. So first step is we've got to be heard. So get out there and do stuff on social media. Be social. Get out there and be heard with your people. Don't always be heard as the person that is asking for things. Go out there and give them what they want. Go entertain them. Go socialize with them. Go find out their dreams. Find out what makes them tick. How many people do you know in your database that when they retire, if they're in middle age, if they're like in their 40s or 50s, when they retire, where is it that they want to be? What is their dream home and what does their life look like when they retire? Keep stoking that fire when you find it out. So go with that. Third step when we go through there is we got them heard, we're noticed. Now we're known. We are the person that is known for what it is we can do for them. And that is connect them and help them with their real estate. Because we can not only connect them with other things that they're going to need, but we can connect them with everything else. We're connectors. We're leaders out there. We solve problems, and that problem isn't always the problem of the transaction. It's the problem they're in the moment. Maybe they're looking to put a patio in and they don't know anyone, and you've got a referral that you can give to them. You can get the guy out and you can come out and check it out, and you can help them through that process because you know people. Go do that. Go out there and connect people. So second thing I want to go through with you guys is I want you to set a goal to have a minimum. Now, I'm talking minimums here, people. I hope you have a lot more than this. We're going to be talking about relationships. So have a minimum of 220 people in your human base. I call it a human base because these are the people I want to be in a relationship with. This is my tribe. These are my people. You know, we really have a scope that we can't really know and physically really, really know people and know their dreams and things over 150. So when we get to that 220, I know people are going like, well, I know a lot more. No. I know you probably know 500 or 1,000 or something, but I want to have 220 people that you know everything about, and they know you, okay? And you're going to keep top grading and fixing this and going through and doing things with it. So you're going to take those other people that you're developing relationships with, and they're eventually going to be coming into this 220 number. And some of these 220 are going to move on, or something's going to happen, and they're going to move away from you. That's just the nature of the beast, and that's life. So we got to be constantly replanting, weeding, and fixing and developing the people that we have. So I want you to have 220 people in this in the next 30 days. Not that you already have these relationships, but identify these 220 people that you want to get extremely close with. Okay? So work on that. Do that. All right. The third thing, I want you to divide them into 4 categories of the 220. Okay? Category number 1 is your VIP. These are raving fans. These are people that you know will give you a headlock referral. Anyone that comes to you from them is just looking where to sign. They're not looking for a presentation. They're not looking for convincement. They're going, Jim sent me to you, and I was told I have to use you, so I'm going to use you. That group right there, I want you to have a minimum of 22 people in it. Why 22, Mike? Oh, that's a great question. So let me tell you why 22. 22 because 22 people will give you 1 headlock referral a year, which equates to 22 transactions minimum, and a minimum 22 transactions based on your average sale price is going to equal what type of income. And in my market right now, our average sale price is hovering right around the upper to mid 300s. So let's just go and do easy math. Let's just go 300,000 right in general. So that 300,000 number gives you about $9,000 of potential gross closed income. 22 of those transactions get you around $198,000 in potential income by having those relationships. So we don't need to focus on the big thing. We need to focus on the small. Develop the relationships with the people. Get to know these people. And this is what it'll get. Are you going to get 100% of those 22 people to give you a headlock referral? No. Some of them may give you 2. Some may not give you 1 for a while, but you know that you're top of mind with them. But it's going to average pretty close to that. I guarantee you, because I've done it for the last 23 years, so I know this system works. The second group that I want you to have people in is your B club. This is what I call your fan club. These are the people that are always rooting. They buy stuff. They come in and they're like your fans that are sitting up there that have all your stickers and pennants and things. They know you. They're your fans. Okay, they're not your VIP are your season ticket holders. These are people that spend the money on your team. The fans are the people that keep it going. Okay, so that fan group, I want you to have 44 people in it. These are people that over time will give you a referral or 2. They will talk about you. They will get it out there. You know that these 44 people know at least the same amount of people you know. Like, so if you have an average of about 1,000 people on your Facebook page, you know these 44 people have 1,000 people on their Facebook page. So let's do the math. So if that's 44 people that know you and are fans of you, that have 1,000 people that follow them, how big did your database just get? Do the math. It's a pretty big number. 44,000 from having 44 people that know basically roughly about 1,000 people. See the strength of this? Because you're going to the outside of that circle by having that inner circle relationship. So the next group, the third group, is your fair weather fan. These are people that I call my C group. These are your ones that are big fans of yours, but you know what, if they have a little bit of a hiccup or something, they may go away for a little bit. They may pop back out or something happens in their life. Like, think of it just from a sporting fan thing. You may have a game where you didn't win. You played pretty well, but they just like, oh, okay, here it's same old, like in our world, same old Lions. But then it's the next week when things happen and they win, boom, they're right back on your thing. So they're always lurking around. They're always close to you, and they always think of you, but they're always kind of up and down. These are kind of your what I call your fair weather fans. Have about 154 people in that group. So if we do the math right there, guys, we go from the 154, we go through the 44, and we do the 22, that equals your 220 people. So those are in your fair weather fans. Now your future fans, these are the fans you're developing. They're the fans that you're bringing through your drafts and all the things that happen in sports. You know, they're those kind of fans. I want you to have a minimum of 220 people in that group, and you're always adding people to that group. That is like a farm. So you're going to have a 220 group minimum there, but hopefully you have thousands of people in that group because that's the group you're looking to develop relationships with. You can't know everyone and get that close, so don't even waste your time trying. So let me get into another spot that's really good here that we're going to talk about. Um, Define and communicate in detail with your human base about what you do, why you do it. Lead with the why. Get to their emotion. Show them why you do what you do. I as a coach, I am doing this because I am looking to take that nasty NARSAT of 87% of realtors fail in the first 3 to 5 years. I'm going to flip that upside down so that 87% or more of the agents in this business are happy and have the business that funds their perfect life. That's my mission. That's why I do it. And I want to help people live a life with less stress and less anxiety and not worrying about where the next transaction is coming from by understanding a few simple things in their mindset and how to work with themselves daily to get into consistent action. Get to know, share that with people about why you do what you do. They don't care that you're a realtor. They care about why you're a realtor and why you do what you do. Because you've got to get away from the noise out there and actually get to them and get to them emotionally. So work on that. So let's talk about what I call doing the 22. And I'll get you guys going because I don't want to take too much of your time here. I have a 22 touch system that I do. As you can tell, I got 22 around. It's a big number to me, and it keeps coming up. I didn't start creating these 22s all around in my life. They just started showing up, and as they started showing up and I was aware of them, I started leaning in and I got consistent with it because it's there for a reason. And someday I'll go through that whole story with you guys if you haven't heard it yet and explain it to you, but I think it's pretty cool. So first, I do one handwritten Christmas/New Year's, whatever it is you're doing at that time that fits in with that person and their beliefs. Do that every year. I do a New Year's card. The reason I do that is it doesn't get lost in the mail. Christmas time, everyone's getting Christmas cards. Every day you go to the mailbox and 4 or 5 or 6 of them show up, and you look at them, you look at the pictures, and then you stuff them in a pile or a folder or whatever you've got going on in your house. New Year's card comes at a time where they're coming down off their highs of the holidays and they're looking for something and they know the New Year's are on the way. And it's a good time for me to talk about what's going on in my life, get them to think bigger, and hopefully get on a wave with them about where they want to go through the year. So I do that. The other thing is I give them 3. So now do the math. We did 1, now this is 3. 3 pieces of value throughout the year. And what I give, and you don't have to do the exact same thing, but you've got to give something of value that ties into who you are and how you connect with people, is what I give is I give sports schedules. So I have these simple things like this. This is a Detroit Tigers schedule that just went out. And I get that. And I get that to people because they look at that throughout the year. Most of my people are just like myself. They're sports fans. They like watching sports. And I get their eyeballs to go look at that, especially the Tigers. They play 160 games throughout the year. So maybe 160 times throughout the year, they go and they look at that schedule. And who do they see when they do that? They see me, and then they see me other places. It just builds that heard, noticed, to being known process. So I do that. So I do 3 of those a year. Find something that can be tied to you and something that people would look forward to getting every year and get consistent with it. The next piece I give is 8 times throughout the year, I give them some sort of expert, some sort of knowledge-based content, either via email, physical mail, or something that I would maybe do. Sometimes I do a video to these people and then I send it to them. So just look at giving 8 pieces throughout the year that you're giving content, you're giving knowledge, you're giving something about the market, you're giving them things about what it is you do, and you're educating people. And then last but not least, the favorite part that we all have is I pick up the phone. And I pick up the phone consistently, you guys. I do 10 phone calls or text messages or direct messages through social media. Why do I do that today? Because in 2021, a text message and a direct message on social media is looked at as communication. It's looked at the same as it is with a phone call. So if their eyeballs are on their phone within the app, but they hit their phone to go to voicemail most of the time, I know I'm not the only one that's done that. You guys are out there have done that too. You get a phone call and you hit it to go to voicemail. You know that they'll respond when you text them. You know that they'll respond when you direct message them. And use these 10 touches as conversation starters, as relationship building content, not to be, hey, Mike here, just calling to see if you have anyone that's interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can talk to today. Click. They don't care. They don't get into that. I mean, you will get some of there. Don't stop doing those, but don't use these as a 10. Use that when you need to throw a Hail Mary pass and you need to get back in the game because something has gone haywire and your business is down to a point to where you need something quick. That's when you put a full court press on and you go do those kind of things. But in your relationship building status, get in and get to know people. Start asking more questions. Always bring value to every conversation. So I went through about 5 steps of my 9 steps to building a relationship-based business. If you guys want to know more about this, I could do a long session on this and actually go through it. But I thought I wanted to hit a few of these. It's right, and we're heading into the springtime market. I know there's frustration out there because we're all working with buyers that we can't find homes for. There's a scarcity of listings out there. We are busy, but yet we're not sustainable busy. So there's a lot going on and it's messing with our psyche. We still have to get back into the basics, guys. I want you to build a relationship-based business that will feed a consistent income to you that then can fund your perfect life. So let's talk about it. Hope you got something out of this. Share this stuff with people. If you know anyone that you think would be a great fit for this group that could benefit from this information, get them in touch with me. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Hope you got something. Peace out. Talk to you guys on Friday.